What is going on, YouTube and weight loss warriors? It's your boy C Dub, and I'm here today to talk about, does intermittent fasting create discipline? And I got the answer right after this. Hey guys, thanks for joining me today. My name is C Dub. If this is your first time here, I've lost 120 pounds using intermittent fasting, and more specifically OMAD, which is 1 meal a day. And I wanted to talk to you about whether I thought that that lifestyle that I'm now living has created more discipline in my life. And when you put those two things together in a sentence, it kind of sounds like, well, what? Eating, discipline? I don't really get it. Discipline comes from sports, and it comes from your parents, and it comes from school, and it comes from martial arts or whatever. We think of these ways that discipline is created. But I actually feel like I learned more discipline through eating 1 meal a day and through intermittent fasting than I ever learned in any other aspect of my life. And I know a lot of people will question that, but when you really think about it, in the very beginning, it's not easy. And so you're going through the first week or 2 weeks of intermittent fasting. You're in a position where you might have a headache, you're feeling drained, you're hungry, you're thinking about food. You might even dive into some things you shouldn't when your eating window opens because you're so hungry and so ready to crave it and so ready for it to be a part of it, which is just absolutely the worst mistake. But you're going to go through all of these little hiccups, and it's difficult. And so, but you're going to end up pushing through that. And so when you push through that part of it and you start to be able to live an actual lifestyle, you start to see all these rewards happening around you. And then you start to realize that the suffering in the beginning was far better than the suffering in the beginning was totally worth the rewards you're getting now. And that level of discipline, that gives you a level of discipline, but that's not even where the real discipline happens. The real discipline happens when your connection with food changes. And man, I'm telling you guys, OMADers out there will agree with me 100%. Your relationship with food changes. And so I used to crave food that was just like, I couldn't pass it up if it was there. I mean, I'm telling you now, if I was thinking about a donut, maybe I saw a Dunkin' Donut commercial when I got up in the morning and I'm getting out of the house, and I go to work and there's Dunkin' Donuts in the break room, there's 100%, I got to go get 1, 2, 3 of them. I don't know. And now I would walk past that Dunkin' Donut without even thinking about it. Not because the donut's not good. The donut's delicious. But because it's not my time to eat. And I have control. And I didn't have that before. I was not in the driver's seat, right? So I've now put myself in the driver's seat through OMAD. I have given myself this incredible sense of freedom over food. And to a point where if I'm busy today and I was doing some things this afternoon and we had a family thing and then we were going here and we're doing that and we had the Boy Scouts and then jiu-jitsu and it's just going and I'm moving like this all day, I might not even eat. I might come home, look at the clock, it'd be 8 o'clock and say, you know what, I should have ate. I like to eat between 5 and 6, but I can shift windows, and I do. I've told you guys before, we'll have dates and I'll go out at noon and eat and different things like that. But in a particular situation, the later it gets in the evening, I'll just say, you know what, dude, not happening today. I'm already on the swing to go to sleep, and start working my way that direction. Food now isn't something that I'm going to do today. And I can skip that entire day and not even think twice about it, not feel guilty about it, not feel like I'm going to die, not feel like any of that, because I now know that I'm going to be okay, that everything is going to be fine. My body is fat adapted. It's going to run fine on fat, and everything's going to be okay. So when you come to that balance and that place, that level of discipline, you start to realize that, wait a minute, it carries over to other parts of my life. Carrying on a regular channel on YouTube and posting content every day probably wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for OMAD and teaching me how to do that. It opened up the window for twice a day when I normally would spend time having to prep meals, cook meals, eat meals, clean up meals, all of that stuff. And I was able to replace those 2 times a day with exercise. And being able to do that has given me, a sense that, hey, I can get up every day and I can make sure I go in there. And that has led me to be able to do
Teachers,
other
pardon
positive
the
things.
interruption. Ms. Vasquez, if you're still in the building, can you come to the main office? Thank you.
Okay, so that has allowed, being able to have a place where 2 meals are now replaced has allowed me to be able to go in and exercise during those 2 meals, which I've been able to do on a regular basis and create a habit, which you guys heard about a little while ago. And that habit has now allowed me to have confidence that I'm not lazy and that I can do these things. And so it's a momentum building thing, and it's a discipline that I could not have paid for. And I learned it through eating 1 meal a day. And so guys, when you're out there and you're thinking about my life is in shambles and I can't even, get one task done without another task getting in the way and everything is going, if you start working on your fasting and you start building that fasting muscle to a point where you can do it, and you change your body from running on sugar to running on fat, and being able to switch from sugar to fat, sugar to fat, sugar to fat without having to worry about anything, when you're able to train yourself in that way, you'll be able to conquer anything. And I think that is something that, a lesson that I want you guys to all know is that discipline can come from OMAD, and it did for me. I hope it does for you. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.